Hello and welcome to another video of the vCTF-58, Virtual Carrier Task Force 58. Today we're going to be introducing you a new feature that we have in our server, which is the aircraft carrier LSO, the landing signal officer, and introducing Lieutenant Leroy Flamingo, the Lua script by GT Freeflyer, who is one of the members of the squadron and admin officers, and it's an amazing individual that creates this Lua scripts that improve our immersion into the DCS world of, in this case, of the warbirds and specifically the Pacific area of operations, the carrier operations with the F4U Corsair. Moving forward, all the CB procedures that we have in our task force are based on procedures based on real life declassified documentations like the USF-77. So in these procedures, there's a lot of information related to the single officer. The problem we have is that in DCS, there's really not an LSO. We have the systems that is provided by DCS, which basically refers to the IFL OLS for the modern fighters. But for the time that we are simulating here, there is no information. Basically, there's no visual information for our position in the approach circle, basically our carrier circle. So we have recovered all this information from manuals that they are, as I mentioned before, they are already declassified, and yeah, we got to the position where the signals, which were very important. The LSO, as you know, is the signal officer that is, at the time they had this kind of tennis racket thingies, and he would give signal visuals to the aircraft on the turning path, because they're turning. It's a very visual approach, and they're turning very close to the sea, to the sea level, to the water. On a moving platform, which is the carrier, and they needed to have somebody who would tell them exactly the position, and if they were turning too much or they're turning not enough, etc. So moving forward, I want to introduce to you the script that GT Freeflyer has produced, which is our own Lieutenant Leroy Flamingo. So basically what we're going to be able to see, and I'm going to show after this little presentation on the carrier, is a signal officer giving us signals according to what the manual said that it was the right signals to do. So let's not delay this anymore, and let me show you in flight. All right, hello there. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I think you can see me. I'm doing this in streaming directly, so hopefully it sounds good and all the audio goes well. All right, so here I am in the carrier. One of the other features that I'm not commenting is, that I haven't commented, is that every time you spawn in or you get close to the carrier on approach, as you can see, the carrier is turning right now. The carrier aligns to the wind, which is fantastic because we can have proper speeds when we're operating from and into the carrier. So once the aircraft gets into the wind direction, and that's the thing with DCS, the problem is that to be able to have the carrier moving a specific position, especially for these long missions that they last 12 hours or 24 hours or whatever, you need to be able to put the carrier into the wind, which is a feature that unless you do with scripts, it's not going to work, which also GT Freeflyer is the one that has made this possible. Was able to make it so in the 4 carriers that we have in our server in the Pacific area of operations, all of them, they turn to the wind and get ready for your departure. So let's take a look from the outside. Let's see the deck is still moving. Alrighty, so the good thing is that you can have the aircraft, I mean, you can actually take up like this, but it would be better just to wait and make sure that we are aligning properly with the wind to improve. You can see the smoke, and it's going to give us a nice indication of when it's aligning into the wind. Almost there. Here we go. Sorry to keep you waiting here, fellas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to enter our C circle. And you see that also it develops a grading. I did a video for the grading. That is another script that we have. We're almost aligned now with the wind. You can see that the smoke is aligning nicely. And once we're there, we'll be able to take off nicely. I order a couple of times the ground crew to give me my specific library. There you go. Now it's aligning. You see that now the deck is almost parallel to the horizon, which indicates that we are nicely aligned with the wind. Okay. All right. Anyway, not really important to have my skin. I just like to fly with my own skin. I won that inside the squadron. Okay. All right. For all the purists, I will open my canopy. All right. Because if I need to escape, I'm gonna have to swim a little bit. And we're almost ready. Just make sure that everything is set up. Don't like to trim too much for the aileron. Rudder is fine. Let's hope I don't have the flamingo. And after takeoff, the cowl flaps are open. Everything is open. I'm gonna select my water injection to make sure we have enough power. And here we go. Powering up. All right. Parking brake is release. Let's go. Yeah, looks fine. Alrighty. I'm gonna put the gear up. You can see that from outside. Oh, the aircraft. There's the gear up. I'm gonna be cleaning up the flaps. Not easy to fly the Corsair from outside. Let's go. All right, so I did a clearing turn, a little bit, just for the video, a little bit of a delayed clearing turn. Let's put 2550. Let's close the canopy, just for sound. And the aircraft is clean. Okie dokie. I like to reset the trims. I have a button where I just reset. It's a bit of an abrupt jink, but it resets me and allows me to feel the aircraft nicely. I have a force feedback stick, which allows me to sense a lot of stuff, which I do recommend if you're getting into DCS seriously, like we do here in the vCTF-58. Of course, that would depend on your budget, but if you can, it's definitely an amazing feature to have. All right, so I'm just going to fly parallel. Today we don't have an ATC or anything like that, so I'm just going to do this for the video for you guys to see our Lieutenant Leroy Flamingo and see how cool it is. All right. Reducing a little bit of power. I'm going to start setting my 2,400 RPMs, which is more than enough for landing. Fuel is good, cold flaps are open. I have my oil cooler, which is important to have open when the engine sort of starts working. My cold flaps are fully open, and I'm going to start turning inbound towards the carrier. So the whole idea is to keep, you see that pitot tube? If you get that pitot tube sort of on top of the carrier when you do the pass, you should be at around 300 feet. Sorry, at 300 yards from the carrier on the pass, which is the exact position you should maintain. Altitude should be 300 feet, and the speed approximately 120, which it's coming. I'm going to put one step of flap stand, which it definitely allows me to keep the speed a bit more on the reps. So the course here should be 093, which I would definitely helps to use that course indicator. All right, 090 roughly. It'll give me a grading. Of course, you can always make the call through DCS and ask, and it will tell you what's the BRC and all that. So I'm going to start trimming a little bit for the approach. 250, 300, and 250 and 300 feet. You can see the boats here because the carrier turns the wind. The boats don't do that, so the carrier catches up later. Oh, I'm too fast. Should be 120, and that's the indication that I'm getting on the recovery script. Okay, it's gonna give me a penalty because of the speed. I haven't maintained my speed properly, so now it's a matter of maintaining it 120 and around 300 feet. So once we close the bow, we should count around 15 seconds roughly. That will lead us into a right position. I'm a bit low. Tell me that later on. Difficult to speak and do this at the same time. Anyway, it's around time. So now we start the turn, and on the turn, I'm going to put the gear down, and I'm going to put some more flaps. I go straight to 40, which is our recommended flap selection for landing. Any more than 40, the aircraft is not flying really well. I don't know, magnitude 3. They promised they had made an improvement on that. They haven't made any updates through DCS in the last few months since they announced that they had solved some issues. All right, so now I'm going to put my hook down, and now I'm going to focus on trimming the aircraft and starting the turn. Okay, my speed is good, my altitude is good. I just pass the beam and I turn. Now the carrier goes into the wind and it goes very fast, so you need to turn quite quickly. And you will see soon on my left side that Leroy should show up. There it is. You see him? It's telling me I need to turn. Towards the groove. Now it's going to tell me to level the wings. You see? There you go. And it's going to tell me to bank a little bit to the right. If I do something wrong, he will tell me to wave off. So far I'm doing okay. Oh, wave off. You see? I need to wave off. So that's the signal. I do a little bit turn to the left, and I do a great job. 145 points, which is crap, you know. But even if you wave off, it will give you a grading, which is absolutely amazing about this. So I'm going to clean up and start over again. Okay. So clean up, gears up, flaps are coming up. There we go. So the only thing is that you cannot do this once you're on the wave off. So to reset this, you need to go back again and do another pass. Okay. Which would definitely help you improve your capacity. I did force a little bit the situation so that the Leroy will show up for you guys to see. I hope in the video it can be seen, because I'm in VR, and sometimes in VR the field of view is not so great. So anyway, let's reset this. I'm commencing again at my altitude, 300 feet, and I'll slowly recompose. All right. Sorry, the hook is up again, and the message resets. I should go through the briefing, and we can start again. All right, I'm gonna put my canopy open this time for the purists, and let's go again. It's a really cool feature, especially when you have experience. You do this visually, you know, but when you don't have the experience, which many of our members join us without having ever flown Corsair or a Warbird, you know, some have experience in DCS. Well, mostly have experience in DCS, because at the end, you know that DCS is very specific simulation, and you need to have your HOTAS, and you need to have a lot of stuff working at the same time, because if not, it's going to be very difficult to. Okay, let me focus a little bit. So speed, surely fine. Distance is fine. And here you go. So we start the grading again. My speed is good. My altitude is fairly okay, and my course is okay. Goes the bow, so around 15 seconds. Just keeping what you have there. Speed is coming up too fast. So of course, I mean, those indications are a guide, you know, and if you fly this with instruments, you most probably end up in the water. So it's a visual approach. So all these are just to guide you to make your maneuver better. Gears down, flaps coming down, and the hook, which I just activated from my PTO panel. Just want to make sure that lever is moving forward and we're coming around. All right. So you can see I don't really touch the throttle too much, because with all the drag, now the aircraft goes into the right position. I just need to balance throttle and altitude. 100 feet, fairly good. 90 knots, also good. Can go 100 still here, but it's good. Yeah, trim a little bit. And when you pass a beam, you start your turn. All done. Here in this part, when you're flying so slow, like I'm at 85 knots, You need to make sure that your ball is centered. Your side slip indicator is centered. If you don't do that, you will side slip and you will get killed. Okay. Now there you go. That's Leroy again. You see him? I hope you can see it. It's so cool. Let's give me indications. There we go. I overshoot a little bit, so I'm gonna correct. So you can follow his indications from the back of your from the side of your eyes. Okay, leveling off and cutting. And oh, trapped. Here we go. Took me a while to trap, but I did trap. So now the hook is up. I just move forward. And I just need to put my flaps up on the wings. I mean, to get the indication, the grading, there's really no need to. Yeah, I know what's happening. I forgot to put my hook up. Anyway, that's all right. That's why I did it. So I got 61 points out of 100, not too bad. So the briefing says here, just gonna stop it here. There's nobody on the carrier, so. Initial pass, target is minus 9.3 points. The upwind, 127 knots. Target 120, minus 2.6 points. You see, so it's giving you. The break was stupendous. The turn to downwind was splendid. Downwind was distance. It's a bit too close. That's why I overshoot in the groove. Groove too long. I stayed a bit too long, so I did definitely turn to base a little bit late. My stern crossing was extraordinary. My landing, I got wire 12, a bit long. I should have got to the wire 3 or 4. Anyway. Overall descent rate, I can do better, you know, and overall speed control is splendid. So final grade is a D-. I have to say that I have personally done 90 point something out of the 100 whenever I'm focusing and not talking to the audience. But that's it, what we have from vCTF-58 for today. I hope you have enjoyed. And this script from GT Freeflyer will stay in our server for a while. So we have exclusivity. And I'm pretty sure later on he will put it out so everybody can enjoy it in the DCS community. All right. I hope you have enjoyed the video and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.